all that good stuff. What's going on, YouTube? Check it out. Ed here with TGH. And there's also some other handsome devil on the other side over here. I just can't tell who that is. Who is that over there?
It's RudeDoggg.
Ah, we got Rudy from RudeDoggg.
You thought it was Aquaballs, huh? Aquaballs, that's my twin, except that he's a better looking twin, bro.
There you go. There you go. So there's a ton of tech going on right now. Everybody's getting set up. So much love to everybody who's here. Welcome. We're hanging out. We're going to have a pretty cool night here. We have RudeDoggg here. So Rudy's going to go ahead and chat with us a bit. And, you know, I'm pretty sure there's going to be a few questions. One of the things that I thought would be really cool is something you've been very passionate about, and you know, just spreading some light on that, you know, shining some light on that, and spreading the word of, you know, the ambitions. You want to talk a little bit about that, Rudy?
I have no idea what you're talking about. What am I doing here? No, just kidding. No, bro. No. You know what? I'm a lot more comfortable now because I know Ed. He's my bud. You know what I mean? So, yeah, no, I wanted to talk about just what it's been a lot in my heart. It's been in my heart for a long time. And I also wanted to kind of expound a little bit about what RudeDoggg Reptiles is about. And I think a lot of people might be missing the point. You know what I mean? I'm totally a reptile channel, and I do feature reptiles. Reptiles is the basis of it. But I think that people are missing, or could be missing. I'm not talking about everybody. I would say maybe some people are seeing that RudeDoggg Reptiles. I would say I would consider myself more of an influencer, content creator. Okay, that is based that the basis is reptiles community. You know, we got to represent the reptile community, and is for the furtherance of the reptile community, for inspiration of the reptile community. So a lot of people, I guess, don't know why I say at the end: inspire, create, share, and motivate. This is Rudy with RudeDoggg Reptiles. And so what does that mean? You know, what are we talking about? Where did that come from?
Well, I mean, I got inspired through looking at a lot of people out there in YouTube. I was turned off a little bit off of other platforms, but I was able to find solace in seeing that there were amazing people that were enjoying this lifestyle. That inspired me to be a little more open about things. And you were a big part of that. I know I bugged you a ton to get a hold of Rudy. It wasn't easy, folks. It wasn't easy.
Dude, I suck. It's because I'm really bad at, especially at that time. I've actually gotten a lot better. I'm more interactive now than I was before. When you were trying to connect with me earlier this year, I didn't really communicate with very many people. I was pretty much, I still am, but I was like a solo act type deal, you know. And I was trying to do stuff for the community, for my audience. And so it was difficult for me to start to make those connections. But now that work has settled a little better and things are a little bit more streamlined, and it's mainly because of work. Because family time, I won't compromise family time. But if I can compromise a little bit of work time to connect with people, and as you know, I'm a self-employed, so I've been doing that lately. So I think I've been connecting a little bit more lately than I have been. So are you still with me?
Yeah, I'm definitely here. I'm trying to see if we're synced up with all of our chat going on there. And yeah, okay. Of course, having time for family it's something that, you know, it's very important. Even for me in my household, that was one of the things that I have a little private chat within the TGH community through YouTube. And today I was telling folks, you know, I do apologize that I haven't been as consistent with my uploads. But at the end of the day, you know, trying to work out work and having free time for the family, that's, you know, you got to have your priorities. And obviously your snakes are, at least my snakes, I feel like they're part of my family. I don't, you know what I mean? So setting time for everything once in a while, I'm like, I guess tonight I don't have time for a live, or I'm working, you know?
Yeah, my snakes, I consider it at the same level as my family dog. The family dog is always part of the family. You know what I mean? But, you know, so my snakes are kind of like in that same place. But to backtrack to what I was originally saying, the motto or the slogan that I have for my channel, it's inspire, create, share, and motivate. So what does that mean? So a while back, I don't know if some of you guys might remember, and I think this might have been around the time you were trying to get a hold of me, was when I was really, really discouraged, and I gave up. I actually gave up, and I was shutting down. I was in the process of shutting down my channel because of the stuff that was going on with YouTube and the stuff that was going on with other YouTubers and the stuff that was going on with me personally between me and YouTube. I don't know if you guys know, but YouTube and I are not seeing eye to eye. We have an issue between us right now. And I think it's more of a personal thing because, because I made some videos just calling them out on their stupidity and whatnot. And since then, it's kind of calmed down. But my today is still suffering from it. So anyways, what brought me back were the people. I stopped. I said, I'm done. I made a video and I was done. There was an ocean. I'm telling you, an ocean of people that just came and just revived me. They reinvigorated me with all these beautiful comments about trying to encourage me, inspire me, motivate me to do what? To create and share continue to create and share my videos. So I'm like, okay. And then even somehow someone told Brian Barczyk, and they got Brian Barczyk to contact me directly to motivate me as well, and he had some very kind words for me. But I pretty much said, you know what, I kind of made my decision. I was like, actually, even up to that point, I was like, I made my decision. I'm done. I'm just gonna be like this breeder that just does stuff outside of social media, like a lot of breeders do. So, long story short, I kept getting this overwhelming wave of messages for like up to a month. And then I couldn't do anything else. I kind of at a point I felt a personal duty to come back. I just felt like I gotta come back. There's all these people that are just like they're counting on my videos. Some of my videos made their day. Some of my videos were educating them when my channel wasn't even really an educational channel, you know. So, anyways, long story longer. Long story longer. I went ahead and decided I'm going to come back, but I'm going to come back kind of like for the people, you know. I'm going to come back and I'm going to be like, you know, I'm going to do this for them, you know. And I've had actually a couple of the people from the audience kind of get mad at me a little bit, being like, no, do it for yourself. I'm like, you know what? It's cool. I get it. I know what you mean. Do it for yourself. Yeah, I get it. But my animals are for myself.
There you go. Know? Yeah, that's what you're doing for yourself.
The thing is that, right, in my life, being the husband, being the father, being the provider, being the you know, my wife is a stay-at-home mom. You know, she helps run the business in the back end and stuff like that, and she does do a lot of work. But technically, I'm the only one who works. I'm the provider. I'm already everything to everyone, and that's kind of the way that I'm wired. You know what I mean? I'm here for you, and when in my business, my customers, I'm here for you. For my children, I'm here for you. For my wife, I'm here for you. I'm here for you. So that's the way that I'm wired. That's the way that I function best. So if I ever get discouraged, I know that it's not for me. I know that when I know that it's for someone else, then I know I'm going to get up off my butt to make that video. Be up to 3 or 4 in the morning if I have to finish the edit on that video, because I know people are expecting it. I know people want it and they want to continue to see it. So I've made that decision that if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it for my audience. And then if I'm going to step it up, if I'm going to do editing, I'm going to do it for my audience. So that's inspire, create, share more, because that what was done for me. My audience did it for me. They inspired me to create, share, and then they also to motivate them. So my motto is, I want to inspire you to create, share, and then once you've created it, and once you shared, I want you to go out and motivate other people like you've motivated me or I've motivated you, because it's a community. We got to spread the love. We got to encourage people that don't have channels, or that do have channels that are, we talked about this earlier. There's so many people out there that are spectators. They have channels. They love watching stuff about snakes. They love doing research. They love buying snakes and having snakes, but they don't put out any content. I want to encourage you, please put out content. You are important. You're valuable. You matter. Your opinion matters. Your voice matters. I don't care if you just have one corn snake. Your opinion matters. Do a tutorial. Do something.
Engage your community. You know, spend some time talking with somebody. That's definitely going to help you and everybody else in the community, because they can help you, or they might be able to learn something from you. You never know.
Well, I try to keep myself on a learning basis, because I'm one of those guys that I will learn like a major thing from this 9-year-old that is putting together a tank for his first ball python, and I'll be like, oh my gosh, I totally didn't know that. Like, and I'm not ashamed to admit it. I'll learn from that 9-year-old kid. He's only put up 3 videos, and I'm supposedly this guy that is supposed to know a lot, right? So, but you know, I cannot be above reproach, and I cannot be above. I cannot make myself unteachable.
Right.
A lot of, unfortunately, a lot of people make themselves unteachable, and then all of a sudden they know it all, but they don't. So you're always learning something new in this. You know what I mean? So, it's been a while since me and you have talked, and you know that I have visions for what we're doing. You know what I mean? We have me and you, your visions and your vision, Ed, and my vision are not the same vision, but
no.
They do complement each other.
There you go.
But they do definitely complement each other. We can, you know, that's why we work together. We've done collaborations. We've done stuff that we've done. I mean, I love your movement, man. I love what you do.
Thank you.
I love what you stand for, and that you, regardless of whatever opposition or whatever, you still stick it out, bro. You don't have to tell me, and you don't have to have a personal conversation for me to know that you are pushing through adversity on the other end. You know, I can see it. I know it. You're pushing through. You're making things happen, and you're doing what you can. And it's not about you. It's about community, right?
That's right. That's right. You know, I'm one of the first calls we ever had. I didn't really know who Rudy was, other than, you know, the character I was seeing on YouTube. And then I realized that it wasn't a character. That was the legitimate dude. He was coming across, and he was like, I am truly all about the animals. And something you told me, you know, everybody was coming at me in different directions. They all had different, again, a vision of what they see being, you know, the way for the reptile industry lifestyle. And a lot of people were lacking in that main focus. And you hit it so hard. It was like, you know, hammer on the nail type of moment for me. And you made it very clear. And after that, I was so open to hearing what you had to say. You know, I'm going to go ahead and tell everybody, if you're good with that, it was this very simple phrase. I asked you, what is Reptile Nation? And you said, well, Ed, it's more about what I'm trying to do. I says, okay, what are you trying to do? And this is a phone call, guys. And all of a sudden he says, I want reptiles to be one of the first animals that people have as a pet. Why is it not so mainstream? And I was like, yeah, why is it not? Yeah, 100. And I just kind of hushed up for the rest of that conversation and started absorbing. I turned into the sponge in that moment, because I could see that I could learn a lot from you. And also the message that you were, you know, talking to everybody about is enjoy this, educate others, bring more people in. Let's get the youth involved. Let's educate the parents about how these animals are not these vicious, you know, mean animals, that they're not all venomous. And it was enlightening for me. And you know what? I appreciate you even taking the time to actually, because I know I did bug you for a while, and I don't mean that you were like not answering me. But again, you know, taking care of life, having priorities, family, business, just the fact that you did take some time to be like, hey, what's up, guy? Let me go ahead and chat with you for a second so you can stop bugging me. At the end of the day, the great part about it was you did take the time and you opened my eyes to the fact that I'm not the only one thinking these thoughts. There are many people that are looking to have reptiles as a more mainstream thing. And I think that's what it was, hook, line, and sinker, hammer on the nail, whatever you need to hear. It was that.
Right. Yeah. See, that's my vision. I don't know if I don't know who shares my vision. Like I said, I don't talk to that many people in the community. I've been so in the last maybe several months, and I haven't talked to very many people in the community. And what I can't say is I haven't heard it yet. Okay. So my vision is yeah, like you said, why. There's going to be a point. I don't care. At one point, there's going to be a point where when pets, they're going to think cats, dogs, and reptiles. They're not going to think cats, dogs, and birds, cat, dogs, and rabbits, cats, dogs, and hamsters. It's going to be cats, dogs, and reptiles at some point. So yeah. What does that tell me? That tells me that you newbies out there, or I'm sorry, that could be actually an insulting characteristic.
You know, new to the hobby, you know, new folks, you know what I mean? Same difference.
New folks, you who are new, you are spectating. You who are spectating, you just have one core snake, one ball python, and you haven't put anything up yet. Let me tell you this. If you start an account right now, if you buy yourself a snake right now, a lizard or whatever, if you buy something right now, I promise you, you are at the forefront of this community. When this community blows up, which it has not, this community may seem big, but it's
we're
not.
Micro in comparison to the dogs and the cats and the birds.
We're a tiny little dot in the world of YouTube. The biggest reptile YouTuber probably in his best day might get maybe 500 to a million views on one channel. One video tops.
Right.
That's average for the YouTube mainstream. That's average. There's 9-year-old boys doing toy reviews that gets 2, 3, 4 million views per video. Anybody who's in the reptile community right now getting 100,000 views, you might as well be getting 10 better. But what I can tell you, I don't care if you're getting 20,000 views per video, you might as well be getting 2 views per video. We're all the same size in the overall scheme of how big YouTube is. So first of all, for you guys that are bigger and it's getting to your head, don't let it get to your head, okay? We're all pretty much on the same playing field. So everybody starts at 1. Everybody starts at 1 subscriber. Everyone starts at 1 view. Let me motivate you. You matter. I don't care if you only get 10 views per video and you've been doing this for months, you've been doing it for 2-3 years. It doesn't matter. Someone's out there's watching you and you have value. And you need to just keep plugging, keep going. If there's something that you could be doing better, then do some research. Ask somebody, do some research and whatnot. But the point is that anybody who's getting into this, even just right now, today, when the wave hits of the reptile community in the mainstream, everybody who's here now, today, is going to be a major player in when those days come.
Yeah, because they're already going to have a voice. And that's kind of one of the things that I've been, advocating for everybody as well, is the community has a voice. And it's important that they use it, especially like you said, if you're new and, you're interested in this lifestyle, this hobby, this industry, whatever it is for you, if you're interested, let your voice be heard, be relevant, engage others. One of the things I like to say is, just having an ability to connect with someone else, that's like one of the biggest things, period, because we can learn from one another. Just engagement. I think that's really huge. Like you're saying, if to be inspired, that's something different for every individual. But like you were just saying, we're all so small in the grand scheme of, social media.
Yes.
Think about it. YouTube is the second largest search engine on the planet. So when you put that into perspective, someone can search something and say, how do you do this? and that can be presented to them. You may know something, anybody out there, you might know something and have a trick, and and it could help so many people. Just put it out there. Let someone get that opportunity to be inspired.
Right, like I said, I mean, it's not uncommon for me to be watching a video and watch this 9-year-old boy teach me something about snakes because he researched somewhere on a book or from a teacher that we necessarily didn't information that we didn't get,
Right.
So yeah, so I'm here to motivate anybody out there who's feeling discouraged, anybody out there who's feeling like this market is saturated, this community is saturated. It's far from the truth, man. It's far from the truth. This community is not saturated. We need way more
That's right.
people in this community to continue to come in with so many different styles. Look at you. Look at your style and flavor. I don't know anybody else that does what you do, dude. I don't know anybody else that does what you do, that does the way that you do it. I don't know anybody else. Now, there's other people that like the cookie cutter kind of channels out there. There's cookie cutter channels. We see them, and they're great. They have their purpose. They have their place because they're kind of like the foundation of our community. You know what I mean?
That's right.
But can you imagine if that's where it stopped? Can you imagine if everybody just were spectators? And that's all we have. All we have is people showing ball pythons and showing the latest and greatest in ball pythons, and that's it. That's nothing wrong with it. It's great. But what about the personality behind it? What about inspiration? What about communication? What about all that stuff that probably does happen in the background, but that nobody sees? Once you get these big breeders and you humanize them a little bit better, it actually makes you feel better about yourself because you don't see him in the light of an unrealistic character that you see on the internet that's so far-fetched or far-reached. Like,
True.
For example, Brian Barczyk, everybody knows who he is. This guy makes himself available to anybody, and that's great. I think that's a suit to follow. But he isn't the be-all, end-all either. There's so many other people that have such great personalities, great characters, that they're worth getting to know as a person. Whether they have 5 subscribers and 10 average views, it doesn't matter. What matters is the person, and that's what I'm focusing on. I want to focus on the people. That's why I like to do interviews. That's why when I go, I'm probably the only person that I know. Probably, I don't know. Maybe someone else has done this. I'm the guy that goes to reptile expos or reptile shows, and I'll interview a spectator. You know what I mean? I don't just interview the breeder or the people, the vendors, or just the guys who are who, you know what I mean?
Okay, I gotta stop. we were at a Pomona show, right? And I had it was me, it was G-Rated and we were helping out Cusco at his booth. So we see you, and we're like, oh, we gotta go over there and say what's up to Rudy. So we mosey on over there, and then you go into interviewing us. And you interviewed me, and then you're like, all right, and who are you with? And he's like, I'm with myself. It was a golden moment for me. That
G-Rated, right? G-Rated?
Yeah, G-Rated. Oh, it blew me away. I was so in love with that. I mean, he was just like, wow, that was really cool because, like you said, you're not seeing, how big someone is, how small someone is, how big their booth is, if they're there to, spectate, if they're there to purchase their full collection, or they're just there for one animal. It doesn't matter. You treat everybody the same. And there was G-Rated just having a ball. Did not expect for you to turn the mic on him, essentially. And it was one of those moments where like his whole face went white, and I was just like, oh man, I'm loving this so much.
And that little scene actually made it on the video. I'm here with myself. I don't know. Can you see the feed? I can't see the message feed.
Yeah, I got my little handy dandy.
I'm wondering if he's watching. That's all.
Let me see. G-Rated, my boy has got to be in here. And if not, he's been doing a lot of schoolwork. I know I've seen him a little bit early in there. But yeah, he's been killing it with school lately. But yes, he just had a blast. And, one of the things that I enjoyed is this community that we've been working on, bringing people in. G-Rated was one of the folks that was dealing with negativity and was completely turned off and was like, I'm done. I'm ready to go. I don't want to be part of this. Just like much like yourself when you were like, I don't want to deal with this. I'm just out of it. And he was right on the precipice of just being done. And then he had this moment of change. And it was because he found that there was a community of like-minded people that were spreading the message of positivity, and he enjoyed it. And came on back. And that, to me, is one of the things that made him, you know, I gravitated to him a lot more because I was like, genuine. He's real deal kind of guy, you know, served his country, you know, a proud individual, loves his spouse. I mean, just a great all-around guy. And I thought to myself, like, this is the guy that was so concerned because he came to the house to get, you know, just have a good time. And he was given a gift and was freaked out because he was like, my girl's going to kill me. And it was so amazing to see this down-to-earth guy. And just to think we could have not had that opportunity to have someone like him in our community just because of small things like other people, you know, pushing negative thoughts or negative, you know, negative agendas, when there's people like yourself out there genuinely doing this amazing thing, which is bringing people in. You're bringing them in. You're just like, welcome to this. Hey, you like dogs? Well, you might like this boa. Why do you think that? I don't know. Let's try to figure this out. You know, and I dig it. I dig it. I see the vibe. I see the passion, you know, and for me, a lot of people get turned off by, you know, real talk. Essentially, that's not everyone's go. You know, but we can be fluffy. We can, you know, show snakes, like you said, like I can go grab a snake right now and, you know, handle and fall. Right behind you is like an amazing, you know, but that's not the point. Showing off the snakes all the time isn't, in my opinion, the end all, be all. What's going to make change is bringing people to a community and, again, inspiring them to join along, to kind of speak their voice, let people know things like ball pythons are great animals. I mean, ball pythons for me was my welcome in, you know, like I was like, all right, I'll do this. Fine. Ball python is not going to bite me, you say? And they're like, well, does it have a mouth? Yes. Well, then it can bite you. And I started thinking about that. Like, I tell my kids that, you know, and I was like, it's all about respecting your animal. And I said, okay, well, how do you respect a snake? And this is all of those things where it's education. Someone who is passionate, they have this vibe that they can, you know, give to someone and say, hey, you know, this is why I love my animals. And it can open a door. For me, I was turned off to snakes. And all of a sudden it was, check this out. There is this amazing morph you've never seen. And again, I didn't want to touch snakes. Nope, not going to touch it. And I seen that banana inchy and I was like, let me hold it because it just looked too cool. So inspiring others and motivating them to be, you know, active in their communities by spreading out this information, it's going to get us to that end game where everybody knows your first animal can be, hey, a dog, a tegu, bird, you know, a python, you know, a reaching, and just start going down these things because it's like all of these animals, you know, they're amazing and everyone can find little things in each. I didn't think I was going to fall for the lizard. I'm telling you. I'm nope, not going to fall for the lizards. I'm good with my snakes. And now I have King Arthur, a crested gecko. And the dude, I mean, like at least twice a week, I'm like, all right, hang out. And then he gets on the shoulder. I feel like he thinks he's a bird or something because I'm watching TV like right behind you right now. There's like TV and stuff. And all of a sudden, he's watching TV. The commercial comes and then he's looking at me like, so what's up? Like, dude, are we going to have a conversation in between the commercial break? And it made me think like they have, yeah, because like he was watching the show with me. We're watching the show together. And then this weird commercial comes on and we're both looking at each other like, hey, what's up? So that is, you know, like experiences that I enjoy, you know, sharing with others. Like, this is something that I did. I had a blast. It was so cool. It was epic. And that I think might convince, it might cajole. So I can cajole them to at least open up their mind to the fact that these animals are great creatures. And why not mainstream? Why not have them mainstream? I mean, I think we're gonna have to work a lot harder now, Rudy. We're gonna have to spread the word a lot more.
Say it again.
I think we're gonna have to work a lot harder to spread the word a lot more. You know, because I'm telling you, there's a lot of great people out there. And I think it's like the campaigns. I like to say, you know, I'm going to put on a campaign. I want to educate folks. I want to talk about this amazing thing. Let's push it out there. Let's get this out there. And I found that if I say it, and then I ask a good friend to, hey, maybe you tell another friend, and you get that ball rolling. You know, it gets more people interested in something positive. Let's do stuff like that. I'm looking at a bunch of people here in the chat. One of the folks that, for me, I seen passion very early on was Gray's Reptiles. Him and his daughters and his wife. I mean, it's a family that enjoys what they're doing.
Hi.
Right. And you know, I made a point to want to meet them. It was a goal of mine. I didn't get to spend as much time with them the first time. I got to hang out with them a little bit longer the second time. And you know what? I can't wait to sit down and have them come hang out. You know, hint, hint, we might be at a booth, you know, coming up January. We'll see how that goes. But I think it'll be really cool to just vibe with people. And I mean, everybody is important. Everybody's voice can, you know, you don't know. You could be talking to someone today who, like we said, is new and is a complete newbie, right? And in a month or two, they could be so far past you social media subscriber-wise. And that person can say, I met this person in the beginning, and they did something for me. They inspired me to be on the right type of path, to do the right type of things. And I enjoy knowing that we bring people in all the time. I go over to channels. I try to look for the people getting bashed. I try to look for the people that have asked a question in a comment area and no one paid them any mind. Those are the folks that I want to put a little bit of attention to. You know, I want to do that because the next generation sees that. I got my little boy right here who's super excited right now because he wants to see you, Rudy, again. There he is. They can't see you if you're gonna like wave off to the distance there.
What's up, buddy? How's it going,
and
man?
These are the guys.
Just the other day.
Right? Did you like hanging out in his snake room, seeing all his animals? That was fun. But these are the next generation.
You're making me say that.
Yeah, like, Dad, you better give me my $1 after this, right? But at the end of the day, we do this to have fun. We do this, you know, so that people can enjoy the lifestyle. I like to think of it as a lifestyle. You know, there's people, hobbies, and it's a bunch. It could be whatever it is to the individual. As long as they're taking care of their animals, they're having fun with what they're doing, and, you know, they can enjoy spending time with other like-minded people, then, hey, why not? That's why I think these shows are so epic. I didn't think I would be as involved, but going to these shows and meeting the people that are really passionate about this and just seeing the smiles on their faces and just watching people go ramble on about, you know, one gene, the first time they've seen it, you know, and it's really cool. You know, you get to get like a bit of them, you know, take a little bit of them away with you because they're giving that to you. And it's that in this industry. It's that what you get out of your pets, you know, that love and everything that goes in. There's an emotional connection. If we can give that little bit, plant those seeds of thought in the next generation, in your friends. Like, even at my job, you know, I'm working, doing this roofing thing today. I have 2 people that would have never in their life got a ball python. 2 people are interested in getting their ball pythons. So that to me was really epic because they were like, ooh, my wife would never let me kiss the venom. And I was like, there's no venom. Yeah, but I don't want to get bit. And I'm like, I have a 6-year-old that holds my ball python. No way, man. And I go, okay, well, let me throw this one at you. I have a 6-year-old that has the biggest ball python in the TGH collection, belongs to this guy. So I was like, and he just snatches it out. Hey, this is my snake. And I'm just like, all you have to do is spend the time, educate yourselves, look at what's interesting to you. I start showing them a bunch of pictures. They're showing. It's funny. Why do people, like, I don't know how this happens, but like, whenever someone goes to the morph market, they find a snake that happens to be like a $15,000 or $20,000 snake. They're like, I want this one. And I'm like, let's look at something similar to that, you know? Like, let's not completely turn you off of this. And then, you know, like, what was one that I liked in the very beginning? I was really into the magma. And I was like, magma, wow. And then when I got my clown, I was like, I'm kind of good with this guy. He's cool now. I'm as close to the magma as I'm going to get. And that's cool with me. It's just enjoying this hobby. You know, why be deterred from having a good time? And like you said, all those people that are out there being negative, all those people that are about hate and all that, they're just wasting their own time and other people's time because I want to have fun. Why do you like snakes?
Because they don't have arms and legs.
Because they don't have arms and legs. That's why he likes snakes.
You know, it's interesting because.
Okay, you were saying?
No. What did he say? I want to know what he said.
Go ahead.
I said I like snakes about them having their stripes and no legs and no arms, and I get to hold them.
He likes the patterns. They have no legs and arms, and then he gets an opportunity to hold them.
That makes them very, very interesting. Absolutely. You know, going back to what you were saying about your friends at work, it's funny how it just only took us 30, 40 seconds, maybe 2 minutes of a conversation to switch someone over, only because of their apprehensions and their lack of information. Because they made up their own mind in their own head what it is that a snake is, or to have a snake. You know, and once again, I mean, they look at these TV shows and they look at these, you know, these movies where you know, unfortunately, I know I'm beating a dead horse already with this, but you know, snakes are being demonized. You know what I mean? And it's always about, the only thing that they show on TV is these cobras, this guy taming 10 cobras, and you know, is he going to get bitten? Is he not going to get bitten? But you know, what doesn't really get looked at is the fact that these animals can be puppy dog trained or tamed. I mean, really puppy dog trained and tamed, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And that goes back to what you were saying earlier, and what I really wanted to touch on in respect to why I believe that something's gonna happen. I mean, like the coals are smoldering, and all it's going to take is this gust of wind or something that's going to spark a forest, a fire. You know what I mean? Something that's going to, like, that thing is beautiful. Check that out. Something's going to spark. Something's going to happen in this industry that's going to go, because right now this community is primed for mainstream. Right now it's primed. We're primed for it. Like, we're ready for mainstream. There's so many people representing this community that we're primed for mainstream, and it's just going to be one little spark that's gonna cause it all to go a huge wave, you know, a huge fire of this hitting a popularity in a way that we've never seen it, and everyone who's here now is going to be in the forefront, like I said. But here it is about another reason why I believe that it's definitely something that's not only viable but sustainable. What does that mean? That means that it's actually, when it hits the mainstream, it's actually going to stick. It's going to stay. Why? Because these animals are smarter than most people think. Kevin McCurley is the one that's like the main thing about his, when he's talking about, when he does a video, Kevin McCurley, when he does a video, he does not do a video without saying how freaking smart these lizards and these snakes are. Like, how smart, how calculated they are in their actions. And because they don't have arms, and because they don't have legs, because they don't have facial expressions like dogs and cats do, they think that they're mindless creatures that don't know what's going on with their surrounding, and that's untrue. In addition to that, these animals, I believe, reptiles, I believe, are highly underrated as being therapy animals, as being animals that can help someone with depression, anxiety, distress, and or maybe even mental issues, in the same way that dogs and cats are being used as therapy animals as well. Because snakes are just or lizards or reptiles have their own thing about them, that, for example, dogs and cats can't help everyone, but maybe a lizard can, maybe a ball python can invoke some sort of emotion or positive emotion in someone who's going through depression. Like, for example, and I kind of stumbled into this whole industry thing and this whole hobby. You know, I didn't get into it because I was depressed. I mean, I do, like anybody else, you're sad, you have anxiety, you're distressed. That's life, you know, especially you being a family man. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So when I found myself more and more being able to be in my snake room for like 10 minutes, for like 4 hours, but then it feels like 10 minutes. I come into my snake room happy to clean. You know, who does that, right?
Yeah.
That's how you know you got something that's good, that's something that's good. Because so to me, what does that say? Like when I come in here, like all my problems seem to fade away, my issues, my commitments, my distress, my disappointments in life, whatever that may be, you know, it kind of seems to go away once I get in between these 4 walls in the snake room, and I just begin to interact, clean, feed, or whatever it is that I do. You know, so I believe that they're highly, highly underrated as therapy animals, but serious therapy animals. I mean, for example, what does your collection do for you?
Well, I'll tell you, it's one of those things where there's a sense of pride and accomplishment, especially when I know that, you know, they're clean and, you know, the time that I get to spend with them. And again, yeah, you're right. I mean, for me, work a lot and, you know, take care of being dad, husband, you know, I'm also TGH. And then when I have my time, it's, you know, I don't know, it's a little bit of tranquil time, you know, a little bit of time to be zen, if you will, and just relax.
Right.
It's cleaning, but it's also relaxing. You know, I do it I'm even doing it with the rats now. Okay. I go out there and I'll take a look at the rats and I'm just, you know, going over them. And then you can see, you know, they're living creatures. There's a lot of intelligence going on.
Yeah.
And, you know, and again, it's the sense of pride. Like, you know, I put up an Instagram picture because, you know, I was given that rat rack by International Exotics. He said, find somebody who needs it. Next thing you know, I ended up being the guy who needs it. So I was like, dude, I'm going to use it. And, you know, I posted the image and a lot of folks, you know, seen it for what it was. They're like, that's vintage, but it's definitely going to help your collection. So there's that good feeling knowing that I'm accomplishing, you know, I have over 30 snakes here at TGH, you know, and then I got, you know, tarantula, cresty, got rats, you know, I got little human kids. I think my wife's a reptilian. So, you know, I'm dealing with a lot here, but there's that sense of pride knowing that they're taken care of well, knowing that I'm just an average Joe too. I'm not balling, you know, I don't got big dough like that. You know what I mean? But I'm able to care for my animals. And, you know, there's a misconception that it's very expensive to take care of, you know, your ball pythons and your animals. You know, it is an expensive hobby. But at the same time, if you do it the right way and you become efficient and you actually take care of the animals the way you should, you don't spend as much as people like to say. So I enjoy knowing that I'm doing things the right way and that I get that time out of it. I was noticing Shelly says that she gets, just like you were saying, she gets a lot of, I believe she said joy, or that's what she does for her happiness is getting her ball pythons and holding her ball pythons. I mean, holding her snakes. That is something that, you know, like you said, a lot of people don't talk about. This emotional support animal that is an amazing, epic creature. Intelligent. Like you said, they're very intelligent animals. And in my opinion, because they're not beating us up, that shows a lot of love on their behalf too, right? Like they're like, I'm willing to tolerate you. How you doing, Ed? What you doing now? Are you gonna put me back in my spot? I'm like, just give me a few more minutes, but we're on the live, you know. And that's how it is. Like I feel like they have a little bit of connection. They understand. I know there's people here in this chat that will tell you they can tell their animal, they can say to their snake, stop. And the snake will stop dead in its tracks. There are people that can call, my friend Gay will call her snakes out of their cage and they will come to her. She calls them by name and they come to her. That to me is amazing. Now, I don't know where the ears are, but they feel it. They get that vibration. Somehow they know. You know what I mean? Like I know that I have, you know, certain snakes that just, they don't play games with anybody. They, you know, we have one that we call Nipper, but he even knows if you handle him and you support him the right way, he ain't going to bother you. Now, no one else is going to be able to get around you guys, but even him, there's a level of respect, you know, and I enjoy all of it. I mean, that's what I get out of it. I get a sense of pride and, you know, respecting these animals and getting the opportunity to have the privilege. I think that all of that together is what my collection does for me. So pride, you know, being privileged, you know, and learning. I'm constantly through this, you know, this journey of education, you know what I mean? And that's really amazing. And I made so many friends That kind of stuff blows me away, right? What do you think? She's like, leave me alone. So yeah, it is what it is. Let me go ahead and put her back. But go ahead, brother.
Yeah, sure. What you were touching on a little while ago, if I can expound on that, was they are rewarding in addition to everything else. You know, they are animals that whether you're cleaning, taming, whether you're interacting with, they are rewarding, you know, and in addition to everything else, you know, and when you do work at something and it's rewarding and you're doing well, and it builds self-confidence. So needless to say, that this community or this hobby is great for kids, you know.
Oh yeah.
I seen a shirt once, and I'm sure we've all seen it. And it says a shirt, and I think I seen some Instagram posts a year or two ago that says I forgot how it goes, but something to the effect that it's better to be into snakes otherwise, so I don't have to waste my money on. No, it's just parents, let your kids waste all their money on snakes, or else they'll end up wasting it on drugs. And you know what, dude? It's funny, but it's freaking true, dude.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true. It's absolutely true. I believe it, because I start thinking, like, what if I didn't have this hobby? Like, what would I would have to be into something, you know what I mean? And I'm not saying, you know, as a grown man, I'll be getting myself into trouble, but you know, I can't imagine
you'd be on your Harley Davidson up and down the highway and such.
I'd be building hot rods or doing something else that I can only build one a year, and then that's it. That you're done. You know? It's kind of like it doesn't give back. That's the kind of thing that doesn't really give back. Where with reptiles, it continues to increase and continues to grow, and the saga always continues year after year. When you breed reptiles, you know, it doesn't stay the same every year. You know, you always advance, you always grow, and it's a sense of accomplishment at the end of the day. And I think that that's good for kids. It's good for young adults. It's good for kids. And if more kids would get into this, I you know, because it's such a fulfilling a hobby, that I think that kids would probably be better structured doing this than, you know, going out doing stuff that maybe they shouldn't be getting into. You know what I mean?
That's true. Yeah. And it's a sense of responsibility too. And once you get involved, you're just too passionate. I even have my kids fighting over who gets to do water time. You know what I mean? Like, that's pretty cool. You know, like, so if they care really and that passion level's there, you know, they're like, I need to hurry up and do my homework so I can be the one to water the snake. I'm like, okay, no argument there. So yeah, I'm enjoying this. I haven't even been in this for over a year. It's only been like about 8 months now, and I mean, look, how could you not love this? Like, right? It just blows me away. It blows me away. I'm involved in what we would call a community, and this community, like you said, is very small, and we need to grow. We need to educate others. We need to just bring more people into this. We need to let everybody know. I mean, I can't wait to do some of the stuff that, you know, we're planning with TGH. You know, we want to put on huge picnics, and, you know, we want to do barbecues. We want to have people invite their family over, you know, and do it in a setting where they can feel comfortable and interact with the snake for the first time. You know, that type of thing was like, my mother-in-law would have never held a snake before, but because she knew I was scared of snakes, she was like, wait, Ed's holding a snake? And I was like, yeah, I'm holding a snake. And so she's like, why? And so again, a little bit of information, educating them, and now she has her own ball python. You know what I mean? It goes that way. I mean, I think we just need to just like have every kid in every elementary school get an opportunity to hold a snake just once in their life, and then they'll be able to come to the same conclusion we've all come to.
Absolutely. And I like what Mad Bio is doing out there. He's doing some in schools, but there's one thing that he's doing that I kind of had the idea of, and then I saw him do it, and I'm like, roll with it, brother. He's taking the snakes, putting it around his neck, and then public, and then just shares. I'm like, oh my God, that's such a great idea. I would love to do that. So I'm thinking in my mind, if I ever head out to Florida, where
yeah,
area he's from, man, I would totally do that with him. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He's definitely a good friend of ours. You know, we set that all up.
Yeah, dude, I would totally love to do that with him. You know what I mean? So, there's another thing I wanted to expound on, and it's something that you have brought up earlier.
Okay.
You had said, well, we got to do more. We got to do more, Rudy. We got to work harder, you said earlier.
Yeah.
And I completely agree. So what can we do? You know, what can we do? What can we have? There's a few ideas, and we've talked about some of those ideas, me and you. And I thank you for being a part of those other ideas. Like I might have mentioned before, I mentioned before that I was going to start a new channel, a new YouTube channel called the Reptile Nation. I mean, oh my gosh! So a lot of people don't know, but I already have 5 different YouTube channels. A lot of people don't know that have nothing to do with snakes. I have 5 different Instagram accounts, so I'm running all these different accounts. And you know, so I'm already doing a lot of stuff. So I'm thinking, you know what? I think I would like to start a new channel called the Reptile Nation. I might have mentioned this before on a past video, just kind of in passing, just to kind of just test it out. But me and you have talked about that, and it's definitely something that I'm going to move forward with. I've been trying to kind of plan it out to launch. I already wanted to launch it at the end of this year, but I've been getting such a great response from a lot of people that I've talked to that have, and I've talked to on a private basis. I talked to you privately, and I talked to several other breeders, but people that love the hobby and that have YouTube channels. Okay, and I've talked to several others, and I've asked you and these other gentlemen to submit a video that for you to promote your channel, promote what you're all about, and promote how to get a hold of you, your Instagram and all that stuff. But in addition to that, also what the Reptile Nation means to you. You did that for me. It was a great video. I truly appreciate it. Obviously, we haven't launched it yet because we haven't launched a channel yet. And I've had an overwhelming response from other breeders as well. And oh my gosh, these videos are so awesome. I'm serious, man. I'm like, oh my gosh, this channel is just going to, I mean, put it this way, I don't even have any videos, and I already have almost 100 subscribers there. And I don't even have any videos up yet.
Rock on.
Yeah. I don't even have any videos. I'm not even active on that channel. And it's called The Reptile Nation. So what I want to present to you, obviously to your audience, because you already, I want to present to you guys, anybody else wants to participate in this, being a part of the Reptile Nation YouTube channel, I would say make yourselves a video that promotes your video, promotes you, promotes what you guys, your channel promotes what you guys are about. And then in addition to that, before you end the video, I would like to know what the Reptile Nation means to you. Okay, so if anybody else wants to participate, you can go ahead and formulate it that way. In addition to that, make sure you keep it about maybe 2 or 3 minutes short, not that long. We just want to be able to promote people. And so check this out. This is the overall view of this idea. And it's open to everyone. Everyone that's listening right now that's on TGH channel right now listening to this. It's open to everyone. So this is my vision. And this is mainly for those who have been doing this for a while, and you're struggling, and you have a good message, you have good videos, and you're just not getting the views because YouTube won't promote you, or for whatever reason. You know, a lot of it has to do that YouTube just simply doesn't like to promote small. The days where you would put out a video in your small channel and then you blow up next year, those days are gone. That doesn't happen anymore. So now it's like YouTube is like, are you making me money? Okay, then I'll promote you. You're not making me money, then I won't promote you. You know, simple as that. So what I'm thinking is, how do I get around the algorithm? How do I help other people get around the algorithm. I already know what I do for my channel, and it's working. You know, I've already have
super duper epic videos. Yeah, we all know, Rudy. We all know.
No. You know what, bro? Honestly, it really does not. Because I have a lot of videos out there that a lot of other YouTubers put out. They'll get 10,000 views, and it's basically like the same kind of situation, the same type of video. So it's not even, it boils down to not even the quality of the video, unfortunately.
Okay.
So I'm thinking, well, how do I take life into my own hands in this particular scenario? So if we have all you guys submit these videos. So basically what you do, you upload it to your channel and you put it as unlisted and send me the link, and then I'll take a look at it. And we got to make sure that there's no profanity, that there's no negativity, that there's no stuff that's inappropriate. Obviously, it's got to be something that's family friendly and positive, okay? And if you're going to be giving out information, that it cannot be false information or derogatory information about anybody else. Obviously, right. We're about the positivity movement here at TGH. So that's why I wanted that's why I wanted to bring it to you guys as a group first. Put it as unlisted, which means that what you can do is you get a link, you can email it to me, and then I extract it from your channel and then upload it to the Reptile Nation. It obviously has not been launched yet, but that's the general idea. Now, what's the point of this? So if you just try to imagine, if I submit your video that you're promoting your channel on a channel that has other people promoting their own channel, well, they're also going to, so on your channel, you're going to say, hey, go watch a video that I submitted to the Reptile Nation. You tell people to go to the channel Reptile Nation, and then they're going to see videos of other people that are promoting themselves. So you promote the Reptile Nation, and then the Reptile Nation promotes you. How? If you and 10 other people have submitted videos, and those 10 people are telling their audience to go to the Reptile Nation, those other 10 people that submitted videos just like you are going to see your video as well. And then it's kind of like a hamster wheel. It just keeps going. And for you who are positive, who has a great message, that are motivating, they're inspirational, that you just want to be a part of the community, you want more people to see your content, send your video to this channel, and this channel will promote you to everyone else that's promoting the channel. So it's kind of self-sustaining and it's self-propelled. And I think that this is something that can work for the community, for us as a whole, who would otherwise not be able to get exposure otherwise, because then you go out and you start an Instagram and start promoting yourself on Instagram. Everybody starts at zero, right? I mean, I did that. So that's kind of something that I do. It's working for me right now, but I'm thinking, well, how can I kind of extend this olive branch to everybody else to also do the same? And then, of course, I will be running the channel to make sure that only the types of videos that we want on there, make it on there. Once again, we don't want inappropriate behavior. We don't want any type of vulgar language. We want to make sure that it's family friendly. We want to make sure that it's positive. We want to make sure that we're promoting each other, and we're making a contribution as a whole. If you go on there and you start using profanity and there is no real message or anything like that, you know, you might not make it into the channel. But so far, everyone that I've seen so far that's part of the TGH community, I mean, you guys seem like great people, and I'd like to be able to see if we can get the ball rolling with these. Now, I got
a lot of people in here right now. Like one soft kiss is in here, and she's been around for a long time in this industry. Yes. And she was saying that, so we tried many years ago back with Brian Barczyk, and a bunch of us did it. It went over great for about a year, and everyone stopped being part of it. And you know what? I definitely agree with that statement. You know, it happens, but, you know, the persistence and the passion, and again, it's like campaigns. You know, maybe it fizzed out a little bit because there wasn't enough attention being brought to it. And I think that, like, just like Rudy was saying, if we do it in a way to where people know I'm asking my friends and family to go to this place so they can vibe, so they can get, these connections. And then they see that there's other people doing the same thing. They're growing their connections. They're growing that family, that network. And if we consistently do it, if we put on amazing campaigns, and campaigns can be helpful, we were talking about it on this channel. It was just words out in the air. And we said, we should do an auction. And it should be for a charity. And the next thing you know, it was happening. And it was like, It's because the viewers, because the people, the community wants to get it done. I've been getting tons of questions. Ed, when's the next, reptile auction house? It's going to happen. We're all about that. We're all about showcasing amazing people and letting people get the opportunity to showcase themselves, their work, their passion. And if we do that in spaces like the Reptile Nation, guys, it's going to give us an opportunity to meet other people outside of our circle. Then we can expand our horizons. We can have another opportunity to make one more friend who has 5 more friends who are willing to tell 10 of their friends to go take a look at what you're doing. And again, being passionate and being consistent, I think that's going to be through. That's going to shine through more than anything else. For me, myself, and I notice is when you're not as consistent, you don't get the type of results you normally get. I've been off for about, let's say, maybe a week off and on. It's been, a little sporadic this last week or so. And by it being like that, I don't get as many folks back. Maybe it's because they're not sure if it's happening that day. So if it happened in the past, we can always try again. And one minute change can make all the difference. So, guys, I definitely recommend for us all heading over there and doing something like that.
So a once-off kiss, she made that statement. Someone like me, I only heard one thing. We did it before and it worked. That's
right, yeah.
That's all I heard. So
yeah, she said the community has definitely matured over the years.
Yeah, and it actually has. It has evolved and matured. And so all I heard was we tried it before and it worked. Whether they stuck with it or not, then
she's saying it's keeping the negativity out of it. That's what's the main thing, and it was hard for them to keep it out of that group before in the past. You know what? I think it's one of these things where I hate saying it, but it's realistic. We, at least in my household, my family and friends, we strive for peace on earth. That's something that we want to see. The reality is sad to the fact that me or my children may not see a complete total peace on earth. And we might not see that in our lifetimes, but it doesn't mean that we shouldn't fight for that belief of having just a utopia for all of us to enjoy and love. And yeah, definitely, as long as people can kind of swim through the negativity, you know what I mean? Push those branches aside, if you will. Make your own path. Pave your own road, guys. You can go ahead and just blow that stuff. Just don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. There's too many people here enjoying what we're doing. Come enjoy hanging out with your friends. Go hang out with Rudy. Go take a look at Gundy. Go take a look at Mr. Barchek. Go take a look at Ed from CMC. Go wherever. Dude, we got BBM over there in Puerto Rico. We got a bunch of stuff going on. There are people doing amazing things. Gay is across the pond. Gotta love carpet python. I was at a show with people saying, I don't know anyone that's really passionate about carpet pythons in the community. And I was like, check this out. I know this lady. She's amazing. And I was promoting her out there in a California show because guess what? That was the connections that were happening. My good friend Riley, he jumped on and was like, dude, she's amazing. And I was like, isn't she? And I'm pretty sure he's a regular over there now because at the end of the day, finding these connections, that's going to be more powerful than all the negativity. We here on TGH, we have gone through tons of ups and downs, right? It is what it is, guys. As long as we keep that positive mindset, we're going to be able to push through. I'm going to go ahead and start this conclusion, if you will, guys. I want Rudy to go ahead and give us that true heartfelt feeling. I know I'm very used to seeing Rudy ask the questions. I'm going to steal the last question of the night here, guys. Let's go ahead and do email time right now. Let's go ahead, connect with people. While we're connecting with people, let's go ahead and ask our friend a question. Rudy, where do you see the industry in the next 5 years?
That's a good question. But before we move on to that, if anybody wants to get a hold of me regarding submitting a video, you can get a hold of me either through my Instagram, DM me, or you can email me to RudeDoggReptiles@gmail.com. RudeDoggReptiles@gmail.com. Okay. The industry in 5 years.
And there's a link in the description below to his channel, guys, just so you know.
All right, great. Thank you, brother. Thank you. So in 5 years right now, you know what? The future is so almost impossible to predict, but that's why it's called a prediction, right? I do see that if we're already not in the mainstream, I think we already will be in the mainstream. Absolutely. Within the next 5 years. There's no way. There's just no way. We've already time and effort is in, man. We're 30 years in. We're 30 years into this whole thing, you know, since the ball python craze started. I mean, there's people that have been doing it 40, 50 years, but these are people that have been doing it in their basement, and they're the originators, and they have their respects, they have their, you know, they have all that stuff. But we're 30 years in, the community has grown, and there's so much diversity in people that own reptiles and breed the different types of reptiles. It's endless. It's endless. Like I say, we're primed for mainstream. We're primed to be in a position where to the whole rest of the world, it's going to seem like it just started. But to us, we're going to be like, man, we've been doing this for the past 10 years. You know, we've been doing this for the past however long. So if we're not already in the mainstream, we're going to be very, very close. A lot closer than we've ever been before in the next 5 years. Now, 5 years is a long time. You blink and 5 years pass. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's my take on it. That's where I feel that I'm going to be at. And if in 5 years, my collection might still be the same. I mean, you have a bigger collection than I do. I don't know if you knew this. I don't have 30 snakes.
That's true. Okay. All right. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, here's the thing.
Yeah, but you got some really, really quality snakes and stuff going on over there. There's even an animal there that looks like a snake, but not a snake. I mean, go figure.
It's lizard, a glass lizard. Yeah, those things are awesome, dude. Those things are freaking awesome. And you see, that's a good point. You see, you made a real good point. That animal is.
I didn't do it. I don't know. I don't know what happened. Yeah, I'm here. You here?
Oh, sorry. A phone call came in. Hold on. Let me put this on airplane mode. Sorry about that.
No worries, bud.
So for example, the legless lizard, I'm intrigued by it. It has nothing to do with value. Those things cost me like $50 each. Well, I think $50 for both. I have two of them. I have a pair. So they cost me like $50 for the pair. So yeah, I do have some stuff that is like, you know, it's high end. But it's not necessarily always about that. It's about my heart. If my heart wants it and it tends to cost $1,000, well, I'll save up for it. If it takes me 3 or 4 years to save up to buy a $2,000 animal, which I have, it's taken me 2, 3, 4 years to save up for, well, I will. So I have some good quality stuff. But then some stuff, it tends to be $30. So I'll buy it because that's where my heart went. That's where my heart goes. So that's kind of the basis of my collection. That's why it's so diverse, because there's so many different species of reptiles out there that it's endless. Like you said, in 5 years, dude, who knows where we would be at in 5 years? I think that we have such great potential. We've put in so much great work. There's so many people breeding so many different types of animals that we don't even know what they are yet. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, dude. There's more out there that are just blowing my mind. I mean, I got some good friends out there that are like, Ed, I'm working with this. Don't tell nobody. And I'm like, that's so cool. What is it? You know what I mean? Like, I'm getting blown away with it. Well, get a little late here. My wife's already jumped to the door a few times, giving me, you know, the wifey eye. So I want to go ahead and say thank you for, you know, taking time to be a member of the reptile community, that, you know, spreading out that love and the knowledge, making those epic videos for me to enjoy. You know, I mean, I feel like they're like, you know, personal movies for me and stuff, you know. I mean, there's a lot of skill that's going into that. And I definitely appreciate the time you put into it. I mean, I do very, very, very lightweight editing, okay? And when I see what you put into your videos, I'm like, where does he find the time? Same thing with like my buddy Granddaddy Herbs. It just blows my mind. You guys do a lot of work.
Hold on. I'm sorry. Before you close, I want to get to the one more thing, and I'll make this fast because I know you got to go. My wife's calling. That's what the phone call came in. My wife too. So I know this live stream went by so fast. There's one more big thing announcement that I'd like to make, and this is kind of what I've been building up to this whole time. We talked about the Reptile Nation and my vision for the Reptile Nation, and that network, that's for people to socialize and become a community. But you know what? We're not all wired the same. Okay, I have to be honest. All of us are not wired the same. Some of us are like, you know what, Rudy, I'm going to stay this course. I want to do things like on the background. I don't like to put myself out there. I don't like to, you know, and maybe you're not ready yet. If you're not ready to put yourself out there yet, but you do want to make content where it's about your snakes and you don't want to put yourself in it and you want to get more views and you want to grow your channel, your Instagram, and get more followers and get more subscribers, learn how to do better videos, how to do the editing, just like you were saying. Some people want to ask me all the time, Rudy, what programs do you use for your editing? Rudy, what kind of camera do you use? Rudy, where's your inspiration come from? Rudy, teach me how to do it step by step. You know what? Time all the time. But what I can do is, for example, I always thought to myself when I barely started, I wish Justin Kobelka, I wish I could just call him. I would give him $100 to spend on the phone with me, just so you can answer these basic questions. So I don't have to watch 10,000 videos over stuff that might not necessarily be the right thing.
Yeah, very true.
And then, so if you're that type of person that says, Rudy, just tell me this straight out. How do you promote yourself? How do you get views? How do you make your videos? How is my Instagram is blowing up right now? I don't know if you know. But
blowing up. What is it, like 15,000, 20,000, some crazy number?
It's insane right now, dude. It's blowing up every single. I'm getting almost on an average of about 100 new followers a day. So
wow.
Like where I'm at, and I got this momentum. This momentum. And so some people are like, Rudy, how'd you do it? I go, well, it's actually, it's a big process. It's a big formula, but it's simple enough and I can teach it to you, but how? Okay. So instead of trying to be everything for everyone all at once, what I did is I started a Patreon account. Okay. So on this Patreon account, I'm making step-by-step videos on how to start an account, how to make a video, how to make a thumbnail, all the apps that I use, the programs that I use for editing, the apps that I use for making thumbnails, how to label your videos, how to tag your videos properly, and the same thing, how to promote yourself, how to hack the algorithm, how to go around the algorithm and be like, I'm not going to depend on you to promote me. I'm going to promote me. And how do I do it when I don't? It's almost embarrassing to go and ask a big YouTuber to hey, can you give me a shout out? You know what I mean? Sometimes it's embarrassing, sometimes it's hard, and a lot of times.
Rudy, can I get a shout out on your Instagram, please?
Yes, of course. I know you. You know what I mean? Because I know you. You know what I mean? But let's say not everyone. I've gotten a lot of shout outs on my Instagram, but a lot of people that I don't know, I don't necessarily know whether I want to give you a shout out. I don't know you. You know what I mean? I don't know what your channel's about. I don't know the drama.
These are all my friends right here. Rudy, these are all of my friends, and they're amazing folks. I like to give them shout outs all the time, and I see where you're going with that. It's definitely about these things. You know what I mean? Having those friends and having those networks. It's hard to ask for a shout out.
Yeah. So to wrap this up, if you want to really kind of level up your game for your social media, Instagram and YouTube, that's all I do. So I consider myself a professional at Instagram and YouTube, how to promote, how to tag, and how to properly do it. Now, there's a lot of information already on social media on how to do it, but it's way too general. I had to reformulate and explore the reptile community. If you just want to get to the point, go to my Patreon, support my channel on Patreon, and there's a lot of perks you'll see. There's tiers and perks that you'll get for just being someone that's a supporter. But what you're really supporting is you're not supporting you're not supporting my collection. You're not making more money for me to get more snakes. You're not making money, giving me money for me to get better equipment. I already have a job. I already have my business. It's already taken care of. What you're doing is you're allowing me to be able to make better video to do.
Right.
So if you support us on Patreon, you help me make better, more inspirational videos, because it takes time, energy, and effort to edit. Sometimes I'm up to 4 o'clock in the morning, man, on a Sunday night, editing videos. And then the thing is that all these thoughts that I write down, I mean, these thoughts that I say, they don't come from the top of my mind, bro. I have to think about it. I have to research. I have to write them down. I have to write literally a script to know what I'm going to say, to know how to inspire people. So I got to really, it takes a lot of time and effort to get on my, I'm not even doing it on my spare time. I'm doing it on the time that I should be doing while I'm asleep. You know,
sleep time, yeah.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to do with the Patreon is to kind of support the cause, for me to be able to set a day in a time for me to be able to properly, calmly, and with more quality, make more quality, better videos. Instead of doing them like at 2 or 3. I mean, sometimes I start recording a video at 11 o'clock at night. I record it, edit it in the middle of the night till 4 o'clock in the morning sometimes, you know. So, but as in return, as a way for me to say thank you, is I give you guys the information that you may need, or that you may need that extra push to be able to better your channel, to reach more people, because that's what we're here for, to reach more people. Now there's this thing where the stigma, there's a stigma like, oh, you're just doing that for views, man. I'm like, aren't we all doing things for views? If you have a YouTube channel, if you have an Instagram and you post something, guess what? You're doing it for views. I'm sorry to tell you. You're doing it for views. So there's no shame in that, you know. And there's a lot of cheap tricks, like a follow stuff, and then there's cheap apps that they tell you that they'll get you followers or subscribers. Don't use those, man. Those things will ruin your channel. Don't use those. I'll admit it that in the beginning, when I barely started my channel, I used that and it ruined my channel. It crippled my channel for years. Don't do it. There's a good way to do it properly and organically grow your Instagram and your YouTube with followers and subscribers that will actually be active and with you and your content. So I'll leave it at that, you guys. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, YouTube, Reptile Nation, and if you want to help become a Patreon, look us RudeDogg Reptiles on Patreon.
There you have it, guys. Now you know where to find our friend Rudy. Let's go ahead and leave it on that same note. Let's give that message out there, guys. Remember, the person you were yesterday, that person's gone. And the person you are today is working on the best version of yourself for tomorrow. As always, much love, and we'll see you on the next one.